Hey, it's Travel Gigolo. This is a review of my brief visit to the iSimangaliso Wetland Park as well as the Hluhluwe-iMfolozi Park. Both these parks are located in Northern KZN, about a 250 kilometer drive from the nearest city, which is city of Durban, so about a 2.5 hour drive. So, starting with iSimangaliso, this is a really large piece of conservation area. It covers about 280 kilometers of coastline, and so our intent in this trip was to just go and do a bit of a recce and get a feeling for it. We intend to come back there and do a much longer stay. So iSimangaliso is a declared World Heritage Site, and it was South Africa's first Ramsar wetland. So this is an extremely important area from a conservation point of view. Given that the park is so large, we decided to focus on the area around Hluhluwe Gate, which is very close to the town of St. Lucia, as well as False Bay, which is a bit further north. So we visited over a long weekend when there was unusually high rainfall, some of the highest recorded rainfalls in Northern KZN in several decades. So lots of grey skies, but still an awesome visit. A lot of the activity at iSimangaliso is based around the town of St. Lucia, and the nearest gate to get into the conservation area is Hluhluwe Gate, which is just a couple of kilometers out of town. The roads are all tarred, and the road into Hluhluwe Gate is also tarred. So you get to the reception, there's a quick and friendly check-in, and you've got to pay your fees and so on, and then it's off into the park. We were in the Hluhluwe area for just an afternoon, so really just a couple of hours, but in that time we saw a surprising variety of both terrestrial and wetland wildlife. There are quite a few different habitats. There's a lot of wetland, there's a lot of grassland, and there's woodland as well, and that lends itself really well to a good variety of wildlife. So I was just really impressed at the sheer abundance of both large animals and birds. So besides the wildlife, one of the great things about iSimangaliso is the kilometers and kilometers of pristine coastline. And so on day 2, we decided to head down to the beach. As you can see, it was quite a rainy day, quite grey, and quite a bit of rain coming down. But it was still really fantastic to see this coastline. It's really, really beautiful, and I'm hoping that we will come back here when it's a bit sunnier and get to enjoy it a lot better. So, having seen the beach, we decided to head out to False Bay and experience that as well as the sand forest. It's about a 1.5 hour drive from St. Lucia to the gate that leads into False Bay and the sand forest. It's quite a beautiful drive. It was quite windy on our way there, but it was a pleasant drive all the same. The forest is pretty thick, so you can't really see very much into the dense foliage. However, we did see quite a bit of wildlife with frequent sightings of both nyala and red duiker. The main road through the forest is all tarred. However, there are a couple of 4x4 routes as well, but you've got to have the right vehicle to go on those. So we basically just drove down the main road and all the way to False Bay. The view of the False Bay is really beautiful, and I think we must really come back here on a nice sunny weekend and really get to enjoy it, maybe relax and do a bit of fishing as well. And next it was on to Hluhluwe-iMfolozi Park. So Hluhluwe-iMfolozi is the oldest proclaimed nature reserve in Africa, dating back to 1895. It's a relatively sizable park set over 960 kilometers of rolling hills and valleys. The roads within the park are also pretty good, and you don't need more than just a normal city sedan to get around. So there's quite a lot of wildlife in this park as well. It's very different to iSimangaliso in that it's rolling hills and valleys, as opposed to the sort of flat wetlands that are typical in the iSimangaliso area. This is a Big 5 park, so with a bit of time and a bit of riding around, you should see all of the African Big 5. We didn't have much time in the park, so we did see elephant and rhino and buffalo, and caught a glimpse of lion, but the elusive leopard was not on the menu that day. Something to be aware of is that there is accommodation inside the park, but there isn't a lot of accommodation just around it or in the immediate surrounds. So typically you've got to stay in the park, or you've got to stay a fair way away in St. Lucia or Tuba. Both these parks are located in Northern KwaZulu, about a 250 kilometer drive from the nearest city, which is city of Durban, so about a 2.5 hour drive. Roads to the parks are all tarred and generally in very good condition. Although the roads are good, this is quite a rural set of areas, so you've got to be careful and on the lookout for cattle and goats and other livestock that you may find on the roads. And it's generally not advisable to drive at night if you can avoid it. Overall, really great. Looking forward to coming back here and spending a lot more time. Already got that planned and in the bag. One of the great things is that there's quite a large variation in landscapes and wildlife and so on. So even if these parks are not on your to-do list, you should definitely add them because they are really great places. And besides the land-based activities for iSimangaliso, there's also scuba diving and deep-sea fishing and so on. So it's a really great place to go and have a holiday and do some active stuff. If you enjoyed this quick review, then hit the like button, please subscribe and check out my next set of episodes, and look out in particular for the big trip to iSimangaliso over a longer period of time that is coming up.